Hey, what's up? Mark here from the Backpacking Gear Nut, and today I want to talk about the ZENBIVY SoftTop Pillow. So this pillow right here that ZENBIVY made might be the best pillow for ultralight backpacking, for regular backpacking, for car camping, for everything that is in the great outdoors where you need a pillow. I have been searching a long time and trying to modify stuff in order to make it work the way I want it to work. Now, it's neat. The way they do this pillow is it's a la carte. They have a bladder that goes in the pillow and blow that up and it gets pretty big, and have this really beautiful pillowcase that's polyester, and it's a high thread count. The thread count is 300, and so that means that this is going to feel really soft on your face, similar to what a lot of you are already using at home. So this should feel kind of like you're sleeping on a pillow at home. Now they have this pillow top here, and this is down filled, and it is a 650 down. It's an 80-20 duck down, which means it's got 80% down and 20% feathers. It's one of the ways they keep the price down is the more feathers to down, the less expensive the down is in order to make it affordable. Because honestly, there's so much down in here that it's really got a lot of density with the down, and I really like that. They claim the weight on the bladder is 1.4 ounces, and mine's slightly heavier than that, but you should know that it's hard to just make every single thing perfect as far as weights go. For this pillowcase here, this pillowcase is got a claimed weight of 1.1 ounces. And this pillow top weighs 3.6 ounces, and mine's slightly heavier than that. When I say slightly, it's like point a couple more than it. It's not an ounce difference. Let me tell you why I absolutely have fallen in love with their pillow system. You get to do stuff a la carte. So some people like a thin pillow. Some people like a tall pillow. Some people like a pillow that is firm and not squishy. Other people like one that's squishy. It's a la carte. You know, you can buy the whole thing together, or you can buy each piece separate. And then for people who are ultralighters, you don't necessarily have to use their pillow topper if you don't want. You can use their bladder, and you can use their pillowcase, and then the jacket that you bring with you, whether it's a puffy jacket and you put that in with the bladder. Now, let me put this pillow together so you can see it, and then I'll talk about why I love it, and I'll talk about what it is that I don't love about it. Now, typically I'll just kind of put it in here before I blow this up, but I wanted to do this way. And the reason for that is I wanted you to be able to see how much height you have on that. It's about 3 inches in height, and you can make this soft or you can make this hard. And it works out really nice because if I put this pillow topper on it, you can already see that it gets pretty thick. And one of the things I don't like about pillows that have an air bladder sometimes is they feel like you're laying on a balloon, whereas this has these baffles in it, these vertical baffles in the center here that make it so that it's chambered so that it feels less balloon-like, and it keeps its shape, which is really nice. And when you put the pillow topper on, it makes it to where it's just ultra soft, and you don't feel like you have that hard feeling of the bladder against your ear. If you're somebody who likes a firm pillow, well, just don't use this, or put this on the bottom if you're somebody who likes a firm tall pillow, and that will give you what you want with that. So let me put this pillow together really quick so that you can see what it looks like when it's together. So first I'll take, and if you look here, there's an opening right here. And so I'll take and I'll put the pillow topper in because I like the softness near my ear. And then I'll put the bladder in underneath it. And what this does is it allows you, if you keep the air nozzle near the opening, it makes it easy for you to blow it up. And so it really only takes a couple puffs to blow it up. And see, the way that they have this, it really just stays together well and makes it quite thick. So this is, I would say, 5 to 6 inches depending on you know, how much you sink into it. And for me, being a side sleeper, I need a tall pillow so that my shoulder can fit. So if I go like this, and you see how my shoulder is, it fits this gap between my shoulder and my head so that it supports my neck. Now, the reason why a side sleeper wants that extra is at home, you may sink into your bed, and so you don't need as thick of a pillow because your shoulder will sink a couple inches into your bed. But when you're backpacking or sleeping with different styles of camping or backpacking mats, that's not something that is really doable, because if the mat is only 3 inches or 3.5 inches, sinking into it 3 inches would put you on the ground. So you don't really want that. So that main thing you need is you need a higher pillow if you're a side sleeper to relieve your neck. Otherwise, you can wake up having kind of neck cramps and not feeling super comfortable. But ever since I started using a much taller pillow, it's solved my problem. So let me tell you what I love and what I don't love about this. Now, I'll show you with the jacket in a little bit, but let me just get it off the table here. If you use their sleeping system, it actually will clip into the sheet so that it doesn't move around on you. But if you don't use their sleep system, then all you need is, if you don't use their sleep system, all you need is a piece of shock cord. And these clips work really well. So when I'm testing or using equipment that isn't ZENBIVY, I can take and put this on my sleeping pad, and I lay this direction so my shoulder would be right here in my head, and this is around my sleeping mat, and it doesn't go anywhere. It stays perfectly still with these clips. And so I absolutely love that. So I would definitely say that this is my favorite pillow now. But let me talk about some things that I don't like. Well, I don't like the fact that I had to make my own shock cord. Now, the reality is they're making this for their system, and their system would have sheets that actually clip to it, so it wouldn't be a problem. But for people who are not going to use their system but love their pillow, it's no big deal. I mean, a couple bucks and you got some shock cord, and that works great. But it'd be nice if they just threw something in like that for people to use who don't necessarily always use their system, because I think their pillow is outstanding. I've got a lot of pillows, It's one of my favorite things, because for me, finding the right pillow is what really makes for a good night's sleep for me. Because otherwise, if I don't have the right support, then I wake up with a crick in my neck, and that's not so great. Now, the other thing that I don't like is their air bladder. I wish their air bladder was 4 inches instead of 3 inches, because I feel like that would give me the ability to get a little bit more height out of it. But it's really not been a deal breaker for me, because I can always adjust my sleeping pad so I can sink an inch into it. Because if I have 3 or 3.5 inches, sinking an inch is no big deal. So that's not a deal breaker. And then some people might not like the fact that their valve, it's not the kind of valve where it's necessarily got an in and an out. It's got an in, and then it's got this little piece in here that keeps the air from coming out. In order to adjust it, you have to push on it. But since there's not that much air in here, it's not that big of a deal to flatten this out. So that actually is not that big of a deal to me. But I did say that you can use this a la carte, which means you don't necessarily have to buy everything. So if you already take a puffy jacket every time, like I talked about earlier, you don't necessarily have to buy the pillow topper. I just absolutely love it though. So for me, that's great. But there's a lot of ultralight people who would say, I'll do 2.5 ounces for my pillow, but I don't want to add the weight to this because I already carry a jacket. So let me show you what you do. So you would just buy the individual things, the sheet and the bladder, and then you just take your jacket. And I find it's nicer if you actually fold it up, because if you just scrunch it in there, sometimes you get the zipper in your ear or something, whereas if you fold it up, then you can make sure you have a nice soft surface. And then you just stick this in the case like you would for their pillow top, and essentially it becomes the pillow top. Then you can put your bladder in here. And there you go. There's essentially a similar pillow experience. Now, like I said, I find that this is softer for me for my ear, because a jacket's going to have seams and things in it. So, really watch. Like I can feel something right there, but that's just because I did it quickly. So you always have to make sure you fold it in a way you're not going to get seams and things in your ear or the side of your head that might irritate you. But that works incredibly well. So if you already carry your jacket, that system gives you a nice, comfortable, thick, fluffy pillow if you want thick. Or if you want thin, you adjust the air bladder and you can bring it down, or don't put the air bladder, or don't put the air bladder or the jacket in there, and then you got your little clips, like I said, so it'll attach. I've done lots of reviews of pillows, and you'll see that I'm usually really complaining about them, because I've found that every pillow is missing something major, whereas with this, because it's so modular, I feel like most people can figure out how to make this pillow exactly how they want it and not have to compromise, which is really nice. So there you go. There's some links down below, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.